Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be showing you what is in my travel makeup bag and how I achieved this normal go-to look. I'm away in the East Coast at the moment for work. If you guys don't know, I also work as a travelling musician, so I play in orchestras and in operas throughout New Zealand when people need players. So I'm away for 10 days for work and I thought I would show you guys what I bring along for makeup. Do bear in mind that this is not a super glam look because I'm going to work with normal people who do not wear makeup in general, or at least not a full glam of makeup for most days. So if you would like to see how I achieved this look, then just keep watching. So half of my face is in the shadow and half is in the sunlight because the sun keeps moving, but oh well. My hair is also in a bun because it is 30 degrees and I am dying, but I'll take my hair out a little bit later. And I also hope that you guys can hear because there are so many cicadas out here at the moment because it is the middle of summer and I love the weather, but I didn't think about the noise. So all of my makeup at the moment is in my Zoeva bag. I got a bunch of Zoeva brushes for Christmas from my sister-in-law and they came with such a cute little pouch, which is really good for traveling because it forces me to take less stuff. Swear to God that is right above me. So to do my makeup I always carry a mirror. This is one of the Etude House Etude ones, which is super old, but it's great because it's compact but you can also sit it flat, so if I wanted to do my makeup I can actually sit it on a little bench. So for my foundation today I'm going to be using the Skinfood Soy Nutri foundation in the shade 1, and I'm going to be using my Pony Effect puff because I think that is my favourite puff at the moment. I'm using the Skinfood one, which is actually a little bit on the darker side for me because it is the middle of summer and I am a little bit more tan than I usually would be. So this actually works so well, and I'm finding it to be really good to use during summer as well because it doesn't get that oily. My skin is pretty good at the moment though, I've got to say. I'm very pleased. I don't know whether it's from skincare or whether it's from like the post results of using Accutane for so long, but my skin type has definitely changed from what it used to be. It used to be so oily during the summer, like I would be literally, my face would be sweating off, but I really don't find that to be as much of an issue these days, which I mean I'm definitely not sad about because it was such a nightmare trying to do like good skincare and makeup during the summer when I had oily skin. And I'm sure that any other oily gals know the struggle. But this is a lighter coverage foundation that I would usually use for performances. But for this performance we're actually in a pit, so if you guys aren't familiar with classical music and things like that, I'm playing in an opera. And with the opera the main thing is the focus is on the singers and the performers. So the orchestra is actually underneath the stage. So you're not going to see me at all, and therefore I don't really care what I look like all that much. I do want to wear makeup so I look presentable, but I'm not going to be on a stage and most people aren't going to see me, so I honestly don't really care if some of the performers can see my acne. It's not a big deal. So like I said, don't really care about any pimples, so I am not going to do any spot concealing. I've got like one pimple there, but I don't really mind. So I'm going to move straight on to setting my face. Now at the moment I'm using the Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder rather than my Skinfood Peach Sake Perfect Powder because I'm testing this one out at the moment. I don't know when this video is going to be up, but probably after the Innisfree powder video I would say. But a good travel tip for loose powders is taking the smaller sizes. So this is a very small size, and keeping the little cushion puffs inside them. I don't actually use this on my face, but what it does is it actually absorbs the powder that sits in the bottom, and you can use your brush to get the powder off this. But it stops it from getting really messy, and you know when you open your loose powders and they go everywhere, yeah, it stops that. So I'm just using a little brush to tap off the excess powder on that and then put it underneath my eyes. And this is going to be more like a get ready with me than it is what's in my travel bag, but you get the drift. I always set underneath my eyes because I've got long eyelashes and it stops them from actually smudging quite as much. Once I have all of the excess powder off the puff, I can just tip it upside down and shake it around a little bit to get a little bit more powder out. And then I'm using the Real Techniques blush brush to actually set my face because it's a really big brush and I can tap off any of the excess powder in the lid and then I can lightly powder my face. I say lightly, but it's not actually going to be that light, really. So I really do like to powder my T-zone, so my entire forehead, because that gets oily, my nose, and then because I play the flute and in this opera I play the piccolo too. I like to do my chin too, because that is where my instrument sits. So I want it to be really, really set in place, because you don't want any tarnish marks, and it'll make sort of like, it'll rub the coverage off your foundation and everything too, which is kind of quite annoying, really. But I found that the Innisfree powder is actually pretty much as good as the Skinfood powder, which is my holy grail. I prefer the Skinfood smell more, but honestly I don't mind it either way. So then I'm going to move on to brows, and I have the Etude House Contouring Kit Eyebrow for this. It is a little bit bigger than I'd like it to be, but the benefit is that I can use the darker powder to do my brows. I can actually contour with a lighter powder if I want to. There is a highlighter and a brow gel if I want. I don't really like the brow gel because it's a little bit too light for me, but it still does work. But I enjoy a really strong eyebrow at the moment anyway, even though my hair is still quite light and you can still see the purple streak in there a little bit too, which is really cool. And I'm using my Zoeva brow line brush, and then I'm going to set my brows into place using the Essence Make Me Brow, which is a really, really good dupe for Benefit Gimme Brow. It's way cheaper and it pretty much does the same job. This is also super compact as well, so it's fantastic to travel with because it really doesn't take up very much space at all. So I've also been carrying around the Hoola Light Bronzer by Benefit lately, because I find that it's kind of nice to get like a little bit of shape to my cheekbones, especially during summer. A bronzer face kind of looks cuter, like I kind of get it, but I'm not the biggest fan of bronzing really. It always looks so intense on camera, and it does not look like that in real life, I promise you, because I don't bronze or contour or anything in real life really, so like I can barely see that in my mirror, but I can see it so much on the camera. Whatever. So I've been using that, and I've been using the Zoeva 109 Luxe Face Paint brush to do it with, because it's just a nice, like, simple design. I really like the Zoeva brushes. I feel like they blend things really nicely. But I also hate doing bronzer on that side of my face with a passion. I'm also so pedantic, I keep them in like the little brush shields when I travel, because it stops them from going like spiky. One of my favorites is the Dandelion blush by Benefit, because I have this tiny little mini of it, so it's not in that gigantic pan like the Hoola is, but it's like a decent amount on there, so that's really good. I'm going to play a teeny tiny bit with another Zoeva brush. This is the Luxe Cheek Finish, which I don't think is meant for blush, but whatever, they do the same thing. And I'm just applying a tiny little bit of that, because I'm going to get pink in the pit anyway. You're going to see my natural flush come through at some point in the evening. So no surprises, I have my Dolly Wink liquid eyeliner in black with me, because of course I do. I probably wouldn't have anything else. And it's going to take me 10 years to do this. I was going for more of a simple cat eye today, but this eye disagreed with that, so I'm gonna have to try and thicken up that eye. And then of course I have my eyelash curlers, because you should never go anywhere without them, especially if your eyelashes are not naturally blessed with being very curly, which mine are not really. For mascara, I have the Benefit Roller Lash, and this is a mini size as well. Benefit do really good minis. I do think that their full sizes are overpriced, but if you get the little collections where they have the minis, they are actually really fantastic value for what you get, because you get so many products. Like you can get a full travel sized routine almost with some of their kits. And yeah, if you travel a lot, they are definitely some products that I would recommend having a look into. And honestly, they have the same expiry date as a full size, and I can barely use a full size mascara within its expiry date, so minis for me are the way to go really. Plus I end up trying a lot of mascaras. I haven't really found one that I would consider to be my holy grail yet. With the Roller Lash, I mean, I think it's okay, but I don't think it's anything extremely special. For me at least. Alright, and finally we have lips. So I have 2 lip products with me, and that is it, which is surprising for me. Like I only have like a very small amount of makeup products for this trip. So the first thing that I'm going to use is the Saemmul Water Candy Tint. I have the shade Watermelon with me, and this is the only shade I think that I kept out of the entire collection, because I did review all of the colors last year and they all looked so samey, so boring. So what I do with this one is I get a tiny amount, which is extremely difficult, and dot it around the inside of my lips to have like a little bit of a gradient. And you can smudge it with your finger if you want to. So many people tell me off for not doing gradients in lip tint reviews, but honestly, like, this looks terrible by itself. I would never wear this. That's just my lip shape and like specific lips. It's not to say that you can't, but there's no point in me showing you what they look like when people just come in like, oh my god, that's so gross. I already get enough compliments about my teeth. I don't need any more for my lips. So you can probably see what I mean. My bottom lip gradients beautifully, but my top lip, because it's so wrinkled, it just looks awful. Looks okay from a distance, but So on top of that, I'm going to use my Skinfood Tomato Jelly Tint Lip. This is in the shade 4, which is Milk Tomato, and it's like the light whitish kind of pink color. It's the most natural one on my skin tone. Ugh. Too much nature. So that helps to fade out the gradient look a little bit better and makes it a little bit more cohesive. So I'm just going to pull my bun out for a couple of minutes. I don't know how long that's going to last though, because I am literally sweating. And I've also got foundation on my white shirt. Awesome. I'm going to have to try and wash that out in the bathroom sink. I was hoping that I could just get ready and go, but no. So this is the finished look. It's very subtle, it's nothing too extreme, and it's super quick and easy to do, and I really don't need that much stuff to do it, so that's why I like this routine. So now I'm going to show you guys around the garden because I think it is so pretty. If you guys are wondering how I film anything, I stack things on top of my suitcase and then things on top of that. So I have coffee and I have someone else's Tupperware container, and my makeup bag matches my suitcase because of course it does, of rose gold. So this is the view from inside the room I'm staying in. It is so beautiful. There's this cute little deck and a little yard. And this is where I was filming, so in that little bit up there. But all of the little awnings have decorative vines running through them. So they have some berries, they're grapevines, but they don't actually bear much fruit because otherwise they'd be too heavy and there would be too many birds. And this is just like a little outside area where I've actually been editing a lot because it's so cool. That's another entrance to the house with some more of the vines running along it. So that's kind of like the living room area. And yeah, everything is just so beautiful here. It's like a little dream garden, really. So cute. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!